Hello, Flimsy Lunch Tray here with another video for you in the Worcester, being the second of the two Worcester battles I've been highlighted last week in particular. So in this battle, we find ourselves in Sea of Fortune in domination mode for ranked, being another battle getting me closer to hopefully in the Gold League. We'll know at some point how that goes. So right now, not in this battle, but in general at rank 2 at the time of recording this video on a Friday, as this video will probably come live on Wednesday or Friday next week. So, starting out here, I let my team know that patience is the key to winning ranked battles, and please keep that in mind. As you can see, kind of analyzing the layout here, that we have some diversity going on with the enemy team. There's no radar on their team. I'm the only radar on our team. As we can see, we have Hayede, if I'm pronouncing that one right, Fletcher, a Yugamo, Smolensk, Minnesota, Kremlin, and Yamato. And we're going to have a pretty edge of your seat run-in with the Minnesota and Fletcher towards the end of this battle. So, well, maybe not end of the battle, but the 60% of the way through. So I'm starting out on this side. I do want to keep my radar over here. I want to keep it over Alpha and Bravo cap, and supporting our Benham, pushing in as our Z44 peels off to the right. He lets us know that he's just going to smoke up and have a smoke trail following him in. I did consider maybe following him into the smoke screen, but with torpedoes likely being thrown at him by enemy destroyers, I think that might not be too wise of an option. As I want to see if I can play on the corner this island with getting shots over. However, once the Yugamo here comes up, I'm too close, and so I'm just going to be killing a bunch of squirrels on the side of this mountain. So I'm going to push up and letting my Benham know that I am going to pop the radar, so if he can get some nice salvos in there here in just a minute, that'd be fantastic. So we move up here, we got the radar, which reveals the Yugamo, so I highlight it. And granted, the Benham has a lot of torpedoes already going that direction, which indeed the Yugamo eats one. But he doesn't seem too keen to fire on the Yugamo at first. And then he finally gets that in. As you can see, we're still killing squirrels. And now the Fletcher has appeared, so I go ahead and pop my hydroacoustic search. I'm really trying to get shots in here. I'm glad that the it was the Montana that finished off the Benson, or the Yugamo. It wasn't even our Benham. I didn't catch that till now. So yeah, so I'm not sure what the holdup there was on the Benham's part. So we do get detected as we back up and we go into being concealed again, as the Benham is attempting to cap A, but it seems like the Smolensk is in it, so contesting the cap, which is when the Benham decides to come out of the smoke, which I'm not entirely sure why, and has some torque beats going on here. So we can see the enemy Smolensk is pushing up on our Z44, and with how the Z44 is equipped, I don't fancy his chances of surviving, as we kind of got a glimpse of his health there. Kind of using the map, little cheat there to see what's going on. So yeah, so each team down one destroyer, and trying to back up to see if I can get some better salvos in here, because I'm just too close to the island. And we're still too close to the island. So I don't feel like I'm contributing much right now. And there goes our Benham. Smolensk getting another kill in. So now we're not in a very good position. Both my allied battleships, as you can see over on my starboard, are just now able to use their guns, since they were taking a bit getting around there. Granted, that one Montana did finish off that Yugamo for us. So I'm just trying to figure out what was the best place to use my guns. And killed some more animals. Just that little peek right there. And then finally the Yamato we get a good glimpse of him, and we can get some hefty angled broadsides in here with the HE. Let's see if we can't set him on fire. And getting backed up a little bit more means I can shift my focus back to the Kremlin and Minnesota, as I want to slow down and impede their cap progress. So it doesn't seem like the Kremlin's really holding it, so then I immediately switch to Minnesota to get some shots off on him before he gets any closer. And we can see that that slows it down a little bit as I'm trying to shift my focus fire between both of them, and they're just going to be able to get the cap. So I kind of switched back here and forth to get my rear turrets in use, since I can only use my front turrets. So I'm trying to get the most miles out of the guns right now. And now we're going to be able to use the front turrets, and I'm going to have to go dark here with the Kremlin coming around. At first with that camouflage pattern, I had a little difficulty figuring out where the guns were, but then now I figured it out. So we're almost going to be concealed by this island, so I am going to open up salvo here and get some fire on his superstructure going. As you can see, our Alsace and our Shimakaze are both relatively low on the health, and so I want to contribute as much damage as I can to the Kremlin as the Kremlin disengages and goes back to deal with them. And also they have to deal with that Hayede that looks like he's back in the smoke screen as the Minnesota pushes up on me. But I'm just going to keep focusing on this Kremlin, do as much damage as possible that I can to him. I pipe the hydro or surveillance radar as our Montana goes down to Smolensk, and he in turn kills the Smolensk to find out where the Fletcher is, but then also keep an eye on this Minnesota as Minnesota pushes in on me. We get some fire set and cranking on the Kremlin, and I'm having to watch my right because I don't want to back up too far and just get slapped by the Yamato. Granted, his hands are pretty full with our other Montana. So now I'm in a very difficult position, not one that I would fancy being in. I go ahead and push up, and I want to keep my nose facing in towards the Minnesota, and you're going to see how we handle this. So I'll go ahead and tell you how we're going to. I intend to handle this. I want to keep my nose facing in as I recorrect it again. I want to show as little side, or as much as small square meters, I don't know, however you want to say it, to him, and then I'm going to push up. And you can see that I popped my hydroacoustic search, and that's because I'm concerned if the Fletcher might be throwing some torps down here between me and the Minnesota. But we're going to full push in to the Minnesota, and I'm going to pretty much stay nosed in at him. And I'm debating if I want to go for the ram or not, but I decide that if I'm going to help my team, I really need to be alive. And I want to take advantage of the Minnesota's turret traverse as he kind of goofs the first shot there. Because once I get past the Minnesota, I'm going to be able to get my rear turrets all firing into him. And with our DPM, we are just going to be lighting him up. As you can see, we already have 2 fires going. I popped a heal towards the beginning of that battle, so then I could use my heal as soon as quicker as possible with the Fletcher shooting us in the back. And I wanted to try to maneuver around behind him, but between his rudder shift and his turret traverse, as I'm sure he probably has an up commander skill for it, he does get the turrets back onto us. So then I decide it's wisest for me to just angle out. Granted, I may have been able to kill him if I stayed broadside with all guns firing, but I thought maybe we could try this out and see if it worked out, to which it did. And now, dealing with the Fletcher. So you can see that we pretty much just roasted that Minnesota pretty hardcore. But now, as this Fletcher is chewing into me, my heal is just about to come off cooldown, and we're going to pop it. So I was thinking about this even before engaging Minnesota. That's why I used the heal at the very beginning, so then I could use it at the end if I needed it to stay alive. And we take out the Fletcher. So this is fantastic. And I honestly didn't really expect to survive that encounter. If I take the Minnesota with me, I was going to be happy. The fact that I came out on top and killing both the Minnesota and Fletcher and still able to contribute to my team is fantastic. So my hands were kind of shaking a little bit at this point because I was just pumped It was a fantastic night of ranked in Worcester. So I'm going to push back in here, and I'm going to assist our Alsace. Or I was at Alsace. I like Alsace. It's got a little more of a ring to it. But we're going to push it back in here, and we're going to assist him. Is the Smolensk gets he's rather salty in chat over how the battle went. And I'm going to tag team with the Alsace, and doing my best to work with him. Because as long as we control A and B cap, we should be fine. As I'm sure that the Hayate, I really don't know how to pronounce that ship, is going towards Charlie cap right now. And so I asked the Alsace, is he detected? To which he responds no. And I'm going to ask him here in a minute too, that once he does become detected, let me know, because he's going to be detected before I aim with my concealment range versus his. And we're going to pull up here, and we're just going to do our best in helping him cap. So we do pop our other heal, and what I'm wanting to do right now is I don't want the Hayate to have any idea that I'm moving back up in here. I want to keep myself concealed, as he's either down where I'm aiming or he's a little bit further off to my port on the left, going for C. So we're going to take our time. We do I finish helping get A cap, and Alsace gets B cap, and naturally C is being taken. I go ahead and pop my hydroacoustic search because I'm definitely expecting torpedoes to come flying down that channel. And then the Alsace is going to let me know that he is detected here in just a second. And so I'm going to see where his location is. So look at him, see where he's at. And it gives me a pretty good idea that I am indeed going to be able to spot the Hayate when I pop the radar and pull out here. And to our pleasant surprise, he's almost dead. As the wall of torpedoes approaches, I'm just planning to kill him before the torpedoes get to me. And dead. Oy. So that was a really good combination there between the Alsace and I. And able to pull off that win there. As you can see, the rank 2. I think this was my last battle of that night. And we're going to look at the post-battle results of getting over 340,000 credits, over 3,000 experience, over 363 free experience with high caliber, with 2 destroyed, 6 set on fires, some defended ribbons as well, with almost 153,000 damage. So I'm going to the team score. We are going to end with what appears to be, to my eyes, 1,858 base experience, with Alsace being pretty close behind with 1,700. And you can see the Smolensk on the enemy team was indeed top of the team with those 3 kills that he managed to get. So you can see almost 90,000 damage to the Minnesota alone. Then took most of the health from the Fletcher. We were able to help our team with that Kremlin and get some damage in on that Yamato, and helping finish off that Hayate towards the end with over 600,000 potential damage. We're going to end with a profit of 177,000 credits, and with premium. So all in all, pretty good battle. So I think one thing I want to highlight with that brawl with the Minnesota is that if you know what you're doing, you don't always just have to go for the ram, because I'm not going to I might not even kill the Minnesota if I just went for the ram, because of our health pool difference, and that I didn't have the ram flag, but just to maneuver around him, to use the fact that he's not a very fast battleship. Granted, he's supposed to have a pretty good rudder shift time and turning radius, and slower turrets turning, and taking advantage of that longer reload that the Minnesota has. So having those things in mind enabled me to kind of make that play on the Minnesota, and luckily come out on top there, and then turn around and deal with that Fletcher. So if you liked today's battle, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you want to see more. If you have already subscribed, thanks so much, as we look to grow the community here with you. So until next time, take care.